Hey everyone, so this is from Shared Energy, your host. Welcome back to WESIE Academy, aka www.wesonline.com. So today I'm going to be talking to you about, we actually have a new series. I'm going to do this over a couple of videos. Just so you know, I heard you, we heard you loud and clear about the fact that in the world of sports, athletes are very busy. And I should have known that myself. We're very busy, even though we're very good at being organized, because we always have one competition that we're trying to either go to or trying to prepare for. Excuse me, please. We always have a competition we're going to or we're trying to prepare for. So thank you for those that did attend the live sessions, but I heard you loud and clear that you want more videos and more things that you can do in your own time. And I respect that. So for this next series, I'm going to do a couple of short videos that you can look at in your own time. And we will still have some live sessions here and there. And to be honest, that was always the plan. I just wanted to take a break and do one or two live sessions and see how that landed. And it was positive, but at the same time, I know that there was a lot of people that registered but couldn't make it because of one clash or the other. So we're going to do it like this, and you can send your questions to me privately. You don't have to, because I also know some struggles. You don't want your athletes, your competitors, to know what you're struggling with. So you can send it privately, and I'm also going to do some Q&A sessions where I address those questions on a private I address the questions generally, but I won't say who asked the questions. So that's why you need to be on the WhatsApp group that we're setting up so that you can ask questions, stay in touch, watch the videos, etc. Right, so let's get back to it. So I want to start this video. This is the intro video, and I want to start by just asking a question to you. I want you to take a moment to reflect on this question, and that is, if sports change tomorrow, if your world of sports as you know it, because when you're an athlete, you're often living in kind of in your own world a lot of the time. And if your world of sports change, if there was like a shake-up, would you still know who you are and would you still be who you are? And I just want you to ponder on that question. I'm going to go deeper and explain in a bit more depth if you stay with me. All right. So, um, so, um, so just to give you a quick recap, in terms of where we've been. So for episode 1, the first of this series, we spoke a lot about we've centered on more about knowing yourself. And the three key words that came out from that session, based on the discussions we had in the live session, to those that did attend, was really identity, consistency, and accountability. So that's the seed of identity, and that's almost set the scene for the next couple of videos that I'm going to do, about going a bit deeper into those things, how you can make sure you have a solid identity, how you can make sure that you're consistent in what you do, and how you can make sure you're accountable to yourself and to others around you. In the second video, we flipped the script and we spoke a lot about how you are seen. And it was really interesting, and it was really important that I covered that, because the reason why is because a lot of times as athletes, some of us are very confident. We believe in our game and our talent, which is rightly so. But the problem is, and where the frustration sets in, is because we're not being seen the way that we need to be seen to be selected. Because regardless of who you think you are, you still need to be selected in order to progress through the levels and to achieve big in sports. So, and this is something, a lot of these things, I wish I had someone telling me when I was an athlete, but you guys have got me now. So listen and learn. So how you're seen is really important. And what we spoke about in that video, I spoke about how you can change the perception, how you can control your own narrative by making sure that you're actually being seen in the way you need to be seen to be selected. So it's not just about knowing yourself, it's also about knowing and being able to see yourself almost through They say the beauty of a person lies in the eyes of the beholder. So it's really important that the selectors are seeing your beauty and your good side when it comes to sports. And sometimes that doesn't always come across the way we think it should. So that we covered that. In this video, I want to talk about how you can stay standing. And that is going to come from knowing who you are, irrespective of when things shift. There's a popular saying that the sign of a true champion is someone that is able to rise when they fall. I kind of don't, in an ideal world, I actually don't want you to fall. I want you to be able to remain standing, regardless of what you come up across, regardless of when things shift or how things move. I want you to be able to stay standing because it's a lot easier to rise when you're standing than when you fall down. So let's think about how we can stop ourselves from falling and how we can remain standing regardless. Um, so um, I'll come back to the question. I'm coming back to the question again, and asking you, if sports change, your world of sports change, would you still be who you are? And would you still know who you are? Here's the thing. Many athletes have a plan for the results. It's what you work towards as an athlete. You are very focused on your goals and what you're trying to achieve. And oftentimes, because of that high focus, which is really important, you subconsciously or consciously have a solid plan for the results, and working towards those results. The problem is that very few athletes have a plan for who they are, regardless of the results. Most people don't stop to think who they are. If, let's say, for example, if you have a 20-point game in basketball, if you score 2 goals in a football match, if you have a personal best, if you're an athlete or swimmer, whatever sports you are, if you if you don't get that on the day, or if you have a really bad day, who are you? Because a lot of times athletes tie their identity to their results, to their statistics, and they think that that's how they're seen. But you know what's interesting? And I say this especially in team sports because I think individual sports is a little bit different in this respect. But in team sport, a lot of the people I know that have been selected have not necessarily been selected when they've had their best game, have not necessarily been selected because they had, great stats on the day by the scout. A lot of times, and that's why go back and listen to the other videos if you haven't. That's why it's really important that you think about who you are, you're aware of how you're seen, and you're able to stay standing regardless of what happens, because that's what's going to maximize your chances of being selected. So, just to say, as we go deeper into this series, beyond the stats and in this particular video, it's just I want you to take a moment as well to think about transitions. Transitions come in different forms. A lot of people in sports oftentimes associate transition with retirement. So they think more about transitioning when you're leaving the sport, when you're retiring. But actually, within a sports journey, within your athletic journey, you're going to go through not just one transition, a major, not just that major transition at the end, but you're going to go through a series of transitions in the journey. And that could be upwards, going from club to national team, from college to the pros, from high school to college. That's all transitioning upwards. Then it could be sideways. You're going from being a starter to being a substitute or a bench player, or you're vice versa. You're going from being a bench player to a starter. And it could be that you're transitioning out, sometimes not by choice. It could be you've got an injury, you've just not been selected for that next level. And it could be beyond sports. So it could be retirement as well. So there are different levels, there are different ways that you transition as an athlete, and we're going to address all that. And it's really important that regardless of what type of transitioning you're going through, you're able to remain standing. Remaining standing positions you better to achieve the results that you're looking to achieve. So it's really important that you remain standing. But I just wanted to take a moment to set the scene um, for to set the scene for what we're going to be going deeper into in the coming in the other videos we'll do. So I'm going to finish this video here. When we come back, when we're going to come back, we're going to talk, we're going to go straight in and think about what actually breaks athletes. And oftentimes, what break athletes and people is that they're not able to fill the gap between who they thought they were and who they need to be, um, and who they need to be in the context and the level that they are. So what do I mean? So I'm gonna, in fact, not what do I mean. So it's like, when I come back, I'm gonna talk about what breaks athletes. I'm gonna go a bit deeper into that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you understand what we're trying to do here. If you have any questions based on what we've done so far or based on the videos that you've seen so far, then please, please, please send me a DM. And like I said, we're compiling questions so that we'll do a quick Q&A session where we'll address all those questions without referencing the people that have asked them. So it's me, Funke. I'm done for now. I'll come back. And when we come back, like I said, we'll go deeper. Coming to you live from WESIE Academy, aka www.wesonline.com. Bye for now.